Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general and love forecast for December 2017. This reading is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. And I would like to apologize for being tardy in getting these readings uploaded. Been pretty busy. If something could happen, it's happened. So, without further ado, let's get into it here, because I'm way behind. Okay. Our first card here, we have the Hanging Man in the reverse position, which this is the Neptune card. Now, Hanging Man in the reverse position, are you hanging on to the past? Are you hanging on to a situation? You may need to accept the reality, because you can no longer deny who you are when this card pops up. Do you fear change? Because that can be pretty common here. You don't want to continue to cling to the past or to certain people. You're already complete without them. And so for me, this just kind of feels like fear is what's keeping you one foot into the past and one foot into your future, essentially. It's like you want to hang on to a person or a situation or a relationship, and it's just not benefiting your growth. So we kind of just need to let it go and move forward. Okay. This is our circumstances card, and we get the Ace of Swords in the reverse position. With the Ace of Swords, this is a new start, probably a project that you've started, but this could be any sort of new start, and you're experiencing delays and difficulties with this new start. And I'd like to caution you, you don't want to be too forceful to gain an end. You don't want to push, because the more that you push, sometimes you'll create more opposition and attract it to you. And since how we're already experiencing a delay or potential obstacles, you don't really want to attract any opposition. This will not be helpful. You also need to be careful and you don't want to be too forceful in what you say as well. And you don't want to make any hasty, impulsive type of decisions, okay? This is like a temporary setback. Maybe there might be some confusion going on for you guys. Perhaps there's an indecision here, not knowing which way to go with something. And sometimes there can be a bit of an exaggeration. Maybe a problem you're experiencing. Maybe it seems bigger than what it really is, or maybe it really is as big as you see it. We're going to clarify. Okay, this is the focus card right now. This is the Five of Cups. So, yeah, this doesn't look very happy. So, oof. So, Five of Cups, this is a loss. A lot of you may have experienced a loss with a relationship. This could be a romantic relationship. This could also potentially be a loss of a friendship with someone that you've been friends with for like a long time. Someone that you were very close with. And this loss brings a lot of emotional pain. You know, sometimes there's a feeling that you've been defeated. A lot of times there's a feeling that you've been deprived of love, you know, sorrow. There's also a feeling of regret. And sometimes this is already kind of happened, but for some of you it may be getting ready to happen, but for a lot of you it's already happened. But with this card, there's like a whole sense of crying over spilt milk. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but it's what's done is done, essentially, and we need to grieve this loss so that we can get past it and move forward with our life. You know, there are 3 cups that are spilled and broken, but you see there are 2 cups behind her, so not all is lost. Yes, a relationship of some sort has come to an end, or is getting ready to come to an end. But that doesn't mean that all hope is lost. That doesn't mean that something better won't come along, because that's what those 2 cups are symbolizing, is that there is something better, but she's just so depressed she doesn't even want to look up to see that they're there. You know, this can be like looking at the glass as half empty as opposed to looking at the glass as half full. It's hard to look at things that way, you know, when you're in a loss. And this loss makes you very emotional. I mean, let me tell you, Aries, this seems like a very emotional reading to me. Like, I feel like your guys' emotions are just, woo, you guys are going through it right now. Okay. This is the card of your recent past. Or this could be a passing energy. It could be an energy that you are still experiencing but is getting ready to pass. Now this is our Queen of Coins. With the Queen of Coins, maybe a recent relationship that is now over. Maybe this relationship indicates that there was a loss of abundance or coins. How about money? Could be a loss of money or abundance, you know, that was associated with this relationship. Maybe that relationship helped provide financial security for you. And so that can be quite an adjustment. And for some, that may make you want to hang on. But I don't feel that would be beneficial in the end. And the Queen of Coins can also indicate that you probably had to learn to take care of yourself very early on in your life. I mean, one of these cards where you got to mature and grow up fast. You got to take care of yourself. And sometimes it can indicate that this could be a woman family member, or it could even be a teacher. So some of you may have experienced a loss of a family member that was it doesn't have to be a female. It could be male or female. But the loss of this person brings about a loss of abundance and potentially a loss of finances. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to clarify. Okay, now this is your present. What's going on right now? And this is our Priestess card. So with the Priestess, you're looking deeper into a situation. You want to look beyond the obvious surface type of situation stuff. You want to see what is hidden underneath. And this card can also be about waiting to see what happens, waiting for results as well. But your intuition has all of the answers that you already see. You already know why this loss has occurred in your life, or why it is occurring. You intuitively know. And I believe that a lot of you already knew it was coming. Especially those of you who have, Aries moon. But this is for all of you, okay? I believe a lot of you intuitively already knew and sensed that this has been coming. But you have all of the answers that you already need. You already have them. Okay, this will be the near future. So, about a week, maybe 2 weeks from now. Here we have the Two of Swords in the reverse position. So, the blindfold is coming off. And you're going to be able to see the whole truth. And, you may have already made a decision. And if you haven't, you're probably going to make a decision very soon. And for some of you who are experiencing an issue in deciding on what to do, which way to go, you want to make sure that you're dealing with all of the right people. You don't want to commit yourself to anything until you know for an absolute fact that that's the way you want to go. I would also like to caution you guys to be careful. Once you decide on which way you're going to go, I want you guys to be careful to not share, sensitive info with everyone. You want to keep some things private, because sometimes people may appear that they're on your side and they may not necessarily be, and we don't want anybody else to cause you any more problems. We do not need any more damn problems. No. Not gonna work. I mean, I just feel like you guys have been put through it. I mean, you don't need no more problems. So just, be cautious. Be, discretion, okay? Be careful. I don't want you guys to have to deal with any extra issues that you don't have to. But once you make this decision, I want you guys to still be careful, because there are still rocks in the water, so to speak. Obstacles that you could encounter, okay? And I just want you guys to be prepared for anything. So just be cautious. Now, this card position would be your attitude. So here we have the devil. Thankfully, this nasty bastard is reversed. So, that's good. With the devil being reversed, it shows that you've been breaking those chains of bondage. You know, enough is enough. You know, had enough. Enough's enough. You know, you are seeing things for what they really are. And, you know, for some of you may have been in a controlling, abusive marriage or relationship or even a situation, and it does have karmic tones to it because the devil is a karmic card here. Some of you may be simply just wanting to get out of a situation in which you feel is abusive, or you feel like you're being controlled and manipulated. And you know what? Take charge and get the hell up out of that, because you don't need that. You don't need it. We are not going to accept abuse in any form at all. Hell no. Take a stand, Aries. Do not let somebody treat you that way. You do not need to be abused. You guys deserve better than that. Woo. Whew. You're going to have to excuse me. I don't like that energy. I like the fact that it's reversed, but I don't like the fact that you guys have been going through some abusive type situations. Okay. Now, here we have the King of Cups. This is how other people see you. Now, the King of Cups, he is an emotional man, but the difference with him is that he can detach from his emotions, okay? But sometimes the King of Cups can indicate that there could have potentially been some debilitating type of drama from a relationship, potentially an old relationship, or, you know, one that you were just in. And you just need to rid yourself of this drama and chaos. You don't need it. You really don't need it. You know, you may want to try to channel this king's type of energy, you know. He has emotions, but he can detach from it. And you may want to try to detach from your emotions so that you can make it through. But at the same time, I want you to be careful because you still need to grieve it. But at the same time, know when to detach from it. When it's causing you too much drama, you just detach. I feel like this is going to lead a lot of you to start doing a lot of spiritual inner work. I feel like some of you guys have already withdrawn. Some of you have not yet, but will. But also, the King of Cups can be an actual person that's in your life, and this could be male or female as well. And this person may appear to be like super calm and peaceful on the outside, but they in fact have a big influence over a current situation that you're involved in. And sometimes the King of Cups is just not doing the job the right way. especially if any of you guys are focused on business matters. Yeah, I don't think that he's getting the job done the right way for those of you focused on business. Now this is the hopes and fears position. And here we have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is all about prosperity and happiness, you know, like family happiness. And sometimes it can indicate a new home. But there is an overall feeling of happiness, thankfulness, gratitude. Sometimes there's celebrations, but the overall message of the Four of Wands is be thankful for all that you have, even the small things. And for some people, this can indicate that you really would like to have a new home. Or maybe you just would really like to have that whole family happiness, prosperity. You want the full meal deal. Huh, couldn't blame you, Aries. Sounds fantastic to me. Shoot, sign me up. Okay, now here we have our final outcome card, and this is the Justice card in the reverse position. So some of you probably feel like an injustice has occurred, or some of you will soon be feeling like an injustice has occurred. Sometimes harsh or unfair judgment or statements by others can happen here. And those harsh judgment and statements, they can result in a loss of some sort. But I want you to realize that whatever you lose here, whether it's a court case or a person or a relationship, whatever this loss is that you lose, this is going to be a hard pill to swallow, okay? But whatever it is that you've lost here, you just need to let it go. Because the very thing that you lost has actually been an obstacle that's been in your way and preventing you from moving forward. So essentially it's happening for a reason, although it's experienced negatively. But there is a good purpose underneath of all of it. I guess you could say it's the silver lining in this shitty cloud here. Excuse my French. Potty mouth. But sometimes this can indicate that there's intolerance. So are you being intolerant, or are others treating you with intolerance? And sometimes this can indicate that someone is having a do as I say and not as I do type of attitude. So that's not a very good attitude to be having. I feel like a lot of you are experiencing someone who has that type of attitude, but then I also feel that some of you are having this attitude. And that's not a good attitude to have. I'm sorry, but it's not. Now, I'd like to say that some of you may have been taken advantage of. And again, you just gotta kind of accept it and move forward. Because balance is what's really needed here. And even though it's an injustice and it throws the scales off, karma will set things right. Rest assured that karma will always set things right. You know, if some of you have a case in the courts and you have this card as your final outcome, well, this can indicate that there's potentially prejudice, discrimination, bias. That's not good. And see, while you would not deserve what would happen here, but you must realize that no matter what happens, no matter what you lose here, karma will get them. And karma will make things right for you. It all goes down to your motive. If your motive is pure and you did the right thing, then you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Karma will get whomever has hurt you. I say that karma is the bitch that never sleeps, okay? Again, excuse my potty mouth, but I can't help it. She doesn't sleep, and she's always just watching and waiting, and she does not forget a thing. So, don't worry. I'd say let this all go. Don't try getting revenge yourself. That would just add more karma to you, and we don't want to do that. Just sit back and let the universe take care of it. Because little Miss Karma, oh, she'll take care of it. Don't worry. She has to take care of it so that we can bring this upright. You may get to witness the karma happen. You may not. But please rest assured that it will happen. But overall, I feel that a lot of you are experiencing an injustice. Now, for our bottom card, we have the Star in the reverse position. So, your faith is definitely being tested right now. And I want you guys to not lose hope, okay? This is very important. You don't want to lose hope. I know that this seems like a negative situation. You guys got a lot going on here. You know, and when the Star is reversed, this can make you depressed. And it can also weigh on your physical and your mental health. So I don't want you guys getting sick. You know, this can lead to depression, you know, and I don't want you guys to get sunken down too far because it's so hard to get out of depression. Because this card can actually be turned around pretty easily, but you need to replace pessimism with optimism. And I know that can be really hard, especially in the midst of a storm, so to speak. It is really hard to embrace that type of thinking. But I want you to know that this is a temporary setback. Whatever it is that you guys are losing and you're going through, it has actually been holding you back. And I think that great things are going to be coming for you guys, especially next year in 2018. But we've got to clear your energy here. And I just don't want you guys getting too far down in depression, okay? You don't want to feel hopeless, because that's just going to make you more depressed. You know, try to be optimistic. Try to find the positive things. It's like I was saying, be thankful for all that you have, no matter how big or how small. I am sorry, my phone just keeps going off. No matter what you have, how big or small, be thankful for all that you do have. You know, and another thing I like to mention, when the Star is in the reverse position, she can indicate that you have hidden talents. Or maybe you already know about these talents, and maybe you've just denied them and not paid any attention to them. And you need to acknowledge those talents and nurture them and let them grow. Because we need some positive things going on in your life, Aries. We need some positive. And you guys can simply reverse this by changing your thought and refusing to fall too far down into that depression abyss. It's just a temporary setback. It's a loss, I get it, which causes, you know, a feeling of depression and hopelessness. And some of you may even be lacking faith, but please have faith, because this will all turn around. It's going to take time, okay? It will take time. But ultimately, it's leading you to a much better path. But you got to have faith. Things don't stay the same forever. The one thing you can count on in life is change. Well, excuse me, there's two things you can count on in life: change and death. I know that sounds a little morbid, but that's the truth. I am so sorry about that. But two things, change and death. Those are the things we can count on in life. It's just, it's how it is. But I don't want you guys to lose hope, because I'm telling you, things are going to get better. Okay, let's clarify. Good. Oh boy. Yes, yes. Heavy indeed. Oh boy. Okay, dokie. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's making a whole lot of sense. Not that I like it, but it's making sense. Okay, we clarify the Hanging Man in reverse, and now we get the Ace of Pentacles. So with the Ace of Pentacles, you know, this can be a gift from the universe. You know, maybe there's a financial reward or a gain. But I also want you to beware of get-rich type of schemes. And definitely beware of anything that's like black market type of things. You don't necessarily want your money to come through sources like that. But I feel like that receiving this gift from the universe can very much happen once you accept the reality of who you really are now, and let go of all that you've been holding on to and all that holds you back. Let it go, so that this new beginning can happen and prosper. I mean, this is like the hand of God coming down to give you this pentacle. This is a new start, and I would say grasp it with both hands. We clarify the Ace of Swords in the reverse position, and now we get the Nine of Swords. Whew, Nine of Swords. Now, some of you may have recently experienced a death from someone close to you. And for those of you who have gone through that loss, I'm very sorry. My heart goes out to you. Now, the Nine of Swords, there's a loss. And it's not always the death of someone, okay? But for some of you, I feel like some of you have recently lost someone. Now, for the rest of you, this is just a card of loss, okay? Typically, this is like a loss of a relationship, or this could be the loss of the new start, the new project that you tried to begin. And maybe with this project, it just seemed to go sideways, and just now it's just like straight up nightmarish. It's turned into a nightmare, maybe. Might be causing you to have sleepless nights. But overall, it's definitely causing grief, stress, depression. You know, and this card also speaks of needing to confront your fears. Because sometimes this can be this could be happening more on a mental level than on a physical outward level. So it could be that some of you are just expecting the absolute worst to happen when it may not. And then some of you are going through this, and this new start project or goal that you've been working on achieving, it just may be turning into a nightmare for you. Oh God, oof, that's heavy feelings right there. Whew. We clarified the 5 of Cups, and now we have the 10 of Cups. So yeah, I see that a lot of you guys have lost that happy family. You guys truly desire to have that happily ever after, but I feel like a lot of you guys have lost it. So it definitely seems relationships are just kind of the focus here. Now we clarify the Queen of Coins, which is our past or passing nature card. And now we get the Prince of Wands. And this can indicate that there is some tensions from a change that you made in the past. Maybe this change that you made was made on an impulse. And then it resulted in the losing the abundance or the financial associated with this person, which could be male or female. So an impulsive change and an impulsive decision you made that led to a change that is in your recent past or is passing results in you losing some of that abundance and financial security. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's losing financial security through losing the person that you were with, or the person that you were super close to and that you lost. And we clarify the Priestess, and we get the Queen of Wands. So with the Queen of Wands, she's highly intuitive. She's very creative. She's popular. She has that self-assurance. And maybe you guys are going within and seeking creative solutions. And Queen of Wands, yes, this can be you guys, Aries. But I mean, this is a double dose of intuition here, because the Queen of Wands is very intuitive. And well, the High Priestess, well, yeah, she's definitely intuitive. So it would appear that you guys are definitely looking for a creative solution. Or maybe you're getting creative and looking beneath the surface to see what's really going on. Whatever it takes, you got to get to the truth of the matter. Because when we have the priestess, you know, there's more than meets the eye. You got to look deeper. You don't want to look on the surface. Because it's something that's, you know, that's going on underneath the surface. Something hidden. But you guys are going to find out what it is, that's for sure. And this is your present position, so you guys are finding out what it is. Okay, we clarify the Two of Swords in the reverse position, and we get the Princess of Wands. Now this is our near future position. So with the Princess of Wands, you know, this is messages. This can actually be a lot of messages coming in. You know, whether it's phone calls, emails, you know, direct messages from, you know, all these social networks. Or it could even be an old-fashioned, you know, letters coming in the mail as well. But typically, there could be quite a few messages here. And since you're trying to make a decision, these messages will probably affect that decision. But overall, you're going to get some good news. And you guys kind of need to be careful because you can attract more karmic relationships that are, well, a little bit dramatic and creative and overall youthful. And for some of you, this may indicate a child. Maybe you have a decision to make regarding your child. And if this is a child, then this child will be very creative, very dramatic. But they just seem to ooze with creativity. I mean, I feel a lot of you guys will have to make a decision about a child or your children. Because there is definitely indication of relationships, potential marriages going bye-bye. And, you know, custodial type issues could come up here. Now, I'm not so damn happy about this, okay? Look at this. Look at this. This shit ain't cool. No, no, no. So, see, this is your attitude. And you guys were finally breaking those shackles off, you know. But I feel like the reason why you guys have finally broken those shackles off is because you guys are finally realizing that the situation that you have been in has been extremely toxic. It's not been good. It's not anything that's good for you. You know, the devil represents obsessions. Sometimes you're obsessed with a certain person. Sometimes you're obsessed with things being a certain way. Sometimes you're obsessed with being in control. Sometimes you're obsessed with an addiction. And the addiction can be alcohol, recreational type drugs. It could be sex. It could be shopping. It could be gambling. Hell, it could be sleeping too much. You know, addictions come in many different forms. But overall, this has been an extremely karmic situation that you guys have been going through. Now, thankfully, you guys are having the correct attitude and you are breaking those shackles and those restraints. And you're saying, I'm not going to take any more of this abusive shit. Stick with that attitude, because you don't need to let someone abuse you. Because the devil can indicate that the situation is abusive. And if it is a relationship that you've been in, I mean, look at this couple, this man and woman, they're chained. But see, those shackles, those chains come off so easily. You just have to do it yourself. You gotta want to do it. But I think you guys are now seeing things as they really are, and you know, this ain't working. Enough is enough. I've had it. I'm done. Okay. Now this is how other people see you, the King of Cups. And now we have the Three of Wands in the reverse position. So with the Three of Wands here, you know, there's a new direction is needed, okay? And, you know, your talents and skills, they may be wasted right now. Maybe they're scattered. You know, it is possible to come to a resolution after a heavy struggle, but seeing those devil cards, I'm about to say it's probably not worth it. But sometimes this can indicate that you are just being too giving, okay? And you're allowing others to take advantage of you. And you can't allow someone to continually take advantage of you. That's a no-go. No. You don't want somebody taking advantage of you, especially when you know they're doing it. It's time to put the shit kickers on and start kicking them out. Ooh. And sometimes this can indicate that you've been detached and kind of withdrawn for a while, and now you're trying to get back out there and doing things, you know, and maybe you were working on a project, you know, and you kind of had to detach due to situations going on in your life, and things may have just fallen apart while you were not able to devote your attention to it. You know, so you may be encountering a lot of delays and obstacles here, and you may need to make changes, or you may even need to start over entirely on whatever this project was. Because when the Three of Wands is in the reverse position, then that means that there's inadequate resources. Or if you're in a business partnership, then maybe the give is not equal to the take. And that's something we don't need either. So you definitely want to go and be a little introspective and analyze these situations and what's needed to fix the situation. And you want to be honest with yourself. Is it fixable? Is it worth fixing? Or should we just start over and do something different? Now this was our hopes and fears position. We had the Four of Wands and we have the King of Cups here again. So I feel like this is definitely a hope, because I feel like a lot of you guys are hoping and wanting unconditional love and commitment and emotional loyalty. But you guys need to regenerate yourselves so that you can heal others. You need to heal from what you've been through recently, or are still going through. You need to heal that. Because once you regenerate and renew yourself, then you'll be able to help others as well. And then you could potentially be able to attract this to you. But we need to deal with the other issues first here, because you guys got to kick this person to oblivion. Bye-bye. No more. Can't deal with that. Okay, so we have the Justice card as the final outcome, and now we clarify and we get the Temperance in the reverse position. And I'm pretty certain I said intolerant. And well, Temperance in reverse is definitely indicating intolerance. Temperance in reverse is being impatient and intolerant sometimes. And this can be with others. Your emotions are the focus when Temperance is reversed. And your emotions are definitely out of balance. And so this can actually cause you problems with your judgment. So good judgment may be lacking here because your emotions are sort of out of control a wee bit. They're unbalanced. And you really need to be careful and look before you leap, you know. You know, there's a lot of frustration and emotional stress in this card. And through inner awareness, you can take the appropriate action in any situation. So go within. Go within. Whatever you lost there, whatever was an injustice done to you, you know, go within to find the solution on how to deal with it. Because you don't want to continue to come across as impatient or intolerant while what you've been put through is an injustice and not to be tolerated. But sometimes we have to rise above and be the bigger person, because in the end, karma's going to get them regardless, okay? We don't have to do anything but sit back and watch, because karma will get them. I'm telling you. You know, and sometimes Temperance is saying, you know, you just need to slow down and smell the roses. Take time for the smaller things, you know, because if you actually slow down and smell those roses, you might actually come upon an opportunity that you would have never came upon if you had not stopped to smell those roses. Sometimes we're just charging through trying to get something done so quickly that we actually miss opportunities. And some of those opportunities are excellent opportunities. So slow down and take a look around. Because even though you've experienced an injustice and a loss, you know, when one door closes, another opens, always. The universe will get you paid back one way or another. You know, and sometimes this can indicate that you just feel like certain people or maybe just certain circumstances are just moving way too slow. But we need to have patience here. Patience, patience, patience. Because if you don't have that patience, then it can make you appear even more intolerant, and we don't want that. And we don't want you being out of balance, okay? Moderation in all things. You see when we turn the card upright, how the angel is steadily pouring the water back and forth between two cups. Moderation in all things. So just slow down. I know that's hard. I'm telling an Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs to slow down. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. I don't want you guys to miss an opportunity that could help take you away from this negative energy. And I don't want anything else to be fed into this energy, you know. I mean, maybe you were intolerant or impatient with someone else, and so then they made some harsh or unfair judgments or did something very nasty to you. Not that you deserved that, but it's a possibility for some of you. Okay, bottom of the deck for the clarifying deck, we get this Six of Cups in the reverse position. So, with the Six of Cups in the reverse position, we're definitely dealing with issues from the past. You know, there's a whole feeling of nostalgia here. And sometimes this is you wanting to return to the past, or maybe you're wanting something to be as it was in the past. You know, maybe you're looking back and wishing that your relationship was like it was, you know, say 2 years ago. But that's not going to be helpful here. Sometimes this can be bad memories that are from the past, that stem from the past. You know, you may need to release yourself from a relationship or a situation that is stifling to you. And when I say relationship, you know, this could be a marriage, this could be a romantic relationship, but this can also be a friendship. And seeing how it's the Cups suit, this could also be a family member. You know, this could be a sibling or a cousin. But overall, the harmony, it's not there. It is not there. And it's caused problems. And you just may need to release yourself from that situation because it's just not working anymore. You know, so you just need to accept the changes so that you can be regenerated and renewed. And I'd like to caution you that you don't want to extend a relationship that is not beneficial to your own path. You know, so if this relationship is not benefiting you, which in the reverse position, it's not benefiting you, you may feel that it's benefiting you in some way, but in the end game here, it's not benefiting your personal and your spiritual growth. This relationship may have just ran its course. And it's hard to say that when it comes, especially if this is a family member. But sometimes we just need to disconnect from certain people because certain people can just be downright toxic and abusive. And we don't need that. We do not need it. I'm telling you. You know, and sometimes there may be feelings of alienation. But ultimately, this is a breakdown of some sort of relationship here. And you know, For a lot of you, this could be a romantic relationship or even a marriage that with someone that you have known for a very long time, perhaps since your childhood. Or this is someone that you've been with for a very long time. Which would make sense why you would look back to the past and want things to be as they were, but it's just not an option. I wish it was, but it's not. So we just kind of need to let go because they're hindering your growth. Aries, you guys seem to attract a lot of karmic type of relationships. And these relationships serve as a purpose. They serve their purpose in teaching, giving soul lessons, and we're all going through it. Don't feel like you're singled out, Aries. Trust me, you're not. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayer, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Sorry, don't look at my nails. They are horrible. Got them all up in a Christmas tree. They're all ratchet. And now we have release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Yeah, definitely. Okay, clarify. Strength. Balance. Page of Earth. Okay, this could be the one. And then we get the Strength card. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Forgiveness and compassion. So, I'd say that says a lot. Seeing as how there's such harsh judgments here. Ultimately, with the Strength card, is you don't have to use physical force to make your point. You can do it through unconditional love. And also with the Strength card, you're no longer letting fear rule your life. You are controlling your own life. And so that's good for those of you who are already moving on or getting ready to move on. And for those of you who may not even be attached at all, then you probably already know someone and you've been having emotional stirrings about them. And I'm going to say that this is going to turn out well for you, for those of you who are not attached. Excuse me. Calling in your soulmate. And now we have the Balance card, which is the Temperance card. The need for balance and moderation. Cooperation and compromise. And wait for perfect timing. So yes. Take your time. You don't want to rush anything. Moderation in all things. Let things play out here. Grieve. Get through this. And maybe with this soulmate, they'll help bring you balance. Balance like you've not ever experienced before. That'll make you think, wow, I thought I had balance at some point with this person, but no, I never did. Now, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Then we get the Page of Earth here. good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging in a new area of study. A lot of times the page of earth indicates messages of a financial nature, or the page of earth can also indicate going back and getting some more schooling to perhaps widen your skills or learn some new skills. Or maybe you're learning that you need to clear your energy and you need to release your ex. Maybe letting go is something that's new to you. But I'm going to say go with the flow, okay? A lot of you need to release that ex. Let them go. They are not serving any good purpose in your life, especially for those of you who have been caught in an abusive situation. Release, release, release. It may not be so easy, but you know, the upside here is the page of earth is upright, so I think it's going to be easier than you think it will be. I think you'll get over it a lot quicker than you think you will. Okay, well, yep, I've chattered way too long, but this has been a heavy reading, so, wow. Alright, well, I will talk to you guys soon, Aries, and I'm sending you guys blessings of healing, prosperity, and love. Talk to you next month.